Otto's Tales, story time brought to you by PragerU Kids. I'm Jill, and today I have got a tall tale for you. Otto! Wow! That's a tall stack of pancakes. Hey, did you hear me say tall tale? Do you know what a tall tale is? Well, a tall tale is a story that is larger than life, with funny, exaggerated descriptions to make it extra entertaining. For instance, if I said, Otto made a stack of pancakes that were piled all the way to the sky, well, it's not really true, but it sounds really great, right? Right. Hey, am I talking too much? Do you want to enjoy your pancakes? Oh, I don't blame you. Go ahead, make yourself comfy. Those look really good. Our story today is based on a famous American folktale from the 1800s when lumberjacks used to tell stories around a campfire. You ready for it? Let's read Tall Paul Bunyan. Once upon a time, there was a baby born in the eastern state of Maine who was so big that 5 large storks delivered him to his parents. His name was Paul Bunyan. Little Paul was not like any other infant. He was larger than life and strong beyond belief. His parents had to milk 24 cows every day to fill his baby bottle. And he ate 10 barrels of oatmeal every 2 hours, morning until night, so that he wouldn't be hungry. He slept in a lumber wagon and also had a large cradle in the harbor. He rocked himself to sleep so much that it created mile-high waves in the ocean. Paul kept growing, and eventually his parents decided to move the family into the woods so Paul could be more comfortable. When he was a very young man, he was about 7 feet tall and took steps that were 7 feet wide. He was almost like a giant. Paul loved the wilderness and learned how to chop trees for work. He could chop down a whole acre of trees with one swing of his trusty axe. Everyone knew him and everyone liked him. That tall Paul Bunyan is a great worker, the lumberjacks used to say. One winter, it was so cold. The birds flew backwards, and the words spoken by every person froze in midair before they could be heard. It was so cold that the snow that fell from the sky turned blue. During that winter of the bluest snow, Paul went exploring and found a baby ox deep in the woods. The ox was also blue. Paul felt so sorry for the creature, so he took him home and let him dry by the warm fire. After the ox was dry, he was still blue. Paul named him Babe. Just like Paul, Babe the ox grew up to be enormous. Babe got so big that it would take a whole week for crows to fly from one end of his great horn to the other. Babe would eat 30 bales of hay, a ton of grain, and would then want more snacks every single day. Paul kept growing too. Some say he grew to be almost 200 feet tall. He was strong and smart and wanted to improve the land he lived on. So he and Babe headed west and began a trek across America to cut and haul lumber. Paul and Babe worked well together and became best friends. The two settled in a camp near the Onion River in Minnesota. But as large as he was, Paul could not accomplish his tasks alone. So he started working with 7 axemen, all very tall and all named Elmer, so that when he called one to help him, Elmer, they all showed up to pitch in. Just like Paul, the axemen would get very hungry. So Paul had a kitchen that was 10 square miles large, with a cook named Sourdough Sam, who made pancakes every Sunday. Each pancake was so big that it took 5 men just to eat one. Paul would usually eat 10. Paul and Babe eventually made it all the way across America. Legend has it that Paul's footprints across Minnesota created lakes, which is why that area is now known as the Land of 10,000 Lakes. Many say that Paul dug America's Great Lakes so that Babe could have plenty of drinking water. Paul and Babe also cleared the forests of North and South Dakota to make the land suitable for farming. The Mississippi River was created because Babe slipped while carrying a water tank. And there are some stories that say the Grand Canyon was created because Paul dragged his axe on the ground through Arizona. Paul Bunyan's joyful hard work created the landscape that is now the western part of America, to ready it for farming and trading. Once he reached the Pacific Ocean, Paul disappeared. Nobody knows where his adventures are now happening, but some stories say he headed north to Alaska, where he continues to tend to his beloved forests with his trusty axe. The end. I told you this was a tall tale. Folk tales about Paul Bunyan have a special place in American history. The silly stories helped a lot of lumberjacks through long, difficult days of work, and the stories changed every time, depending on the person who told them. Even though the tales aren't true, Paul Bunyan stories remind us to use all the gifts that we've been given to do thoughtful things for others and for our communities. Otto! Speaking of thoughtful, did you save me a pancake? Thank you. I was really hoping you would. You know, Paul Bunyan was very, very tall, and that was a gift that he used to do good. These are delicious! Well done. Excellent. Thank you for watching Otto's Tales. Check out some of our other stories too. Keep reading, keep watching, and always use your gifts to do good. Bye, guys. Hey, do you have a napkin? Thank you for watching. You know we've got more episodes, right? Watch the whole series and subscribe at PragerUkids.com.